All right, moving on in 8.4, we get into this realm of writing the equations for lines given certain pieces of the line. And you'll see some different examples here and some different criteria that guide us in how we need to write the equation for the line. So it's important to read the instruction for a problem to make sure you know that in this problem we have to end with our line in this slope-intercept form. But some students like to use the point-slope method to get to this form. So I'm going to try to show you both systems here, both methods for writing the equation of the line. And some of you will like this one, and some of you will like this one. So on both of these, there's three numbers or three values you'll fill in to help produce this equation of the line. And what we're going to fill in on this one is the y and the m and the x. Okay, and then on this one we're going to fill in the y1, the m, and the x1, and we're going to use these values here. Okay, so when we're going to the slope-intercept form, I mean, m is pretty easy to figure out. I mean, it's labeled m, that's the slope. But this is your x value and your y value, or it's your x1 value and your y1 value. Okay, remember, it's an ordered pair. So when I substitute these in to the slope-intercept method, what that's going to do is give me one letter that isn't substituted for, the b value, and we'll calculate the b value. So I'm going to put these in carefully. I have 6 equals 2 times -3 plus b. So now we have one unknown value of b, and we can figure this out by just using our algebra skills. And we can add 6, and we find out that b is equal to 12. So now that I have this, I know to write the equation of the line, the final product or form has to have the m value and the b value filled in. So I'll write m equals 2x plus 12. And that's the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. And that's the form I needed to end in. Okay, so let's look at how this one works. So I don't put anything in for y. For the y1, I have to put in 6. Okay, we have to be a little careful with our signs on this one. Oh, I want to put in my 2 value for m, so I'll put in 2 here. And then when I substitute in here, we have to be careful with the sign. That negative's part of the formula, and then I substitute the -3, and I get this double negative right here. Okay, so cleaning that up a little bit, I get this. Okay, now this is an equation for the line, but this equation is in point slope form. And if you graph this in Desmos, okay, and remember the graphing site on the web, Desmos, but if you graph this in Desmos and graph this in Desmos, you would see that the lines would be on top of each other. It's the same line. So I'm going to get this into the proper form. I have to do the distributive property. And the only reason I'm doing this is because the problem states it has to be in slope-intercept form. And then I'll add 6. And I get y equals 2x plus 12. And now I have it in the proper form stated by the instructions of the problem. So this seemed a little faster for me because I know I needed to go to slope-intercept method. This just shows the correlation between the two methods, and that you do end with the same result. Okay, so read the instructions carefully and be careful with your signs.